Hey guys, Civilord here, back again with the continuation of Evil Villain, Don't Care About That. No, I'm just kidding. Back again with another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Popeye Classics Rough House by the fine folks over at Boss Fight Studios and Big the Bad Toy Store, which is where I got mine, not on sale. This guy was a whopping like 40 bucks. But we took a look-see at little castor oil earlier today. You can see I got his hat in his hand. He's holding it. All pip pip cheerio and whatnot. So that's fun. But now we're looking at a Rough House, because if I'm going to have Wimpy, I got to have a Rough House. Because Wimpy is always trying to screw this guy over and pay him for hamburgers a week later, instead of just paying him up front. You know, there are a lot of collectors that do that type of crap too, but we're not going to name names here. But you probably know who they are. They use payment plans, put themselves in the debt, and then sell off half their collection to pay it off. Either way, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Rough House has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with a pair of fisticuffs, some punching hands, so he can punch Wimpy right in the nose for trying to screw him over. I guess that makes sense. He also has a second grip hand and a pointy finger hand, or a booger picking hand. And funny thing, I didn't know the Popeye characters had 4 fingers and thumbs. Ain't that some shiznit? But there you go. We do have that going for them. We also get a meat cleaver and a spatular. Which I'm going to tell you, be careful with these, trying to get them in the hands. They're nice and snug in the hands, but they are tight. So I'm going to risk breaking those. They are rather thin. He comes with a book. Probably a recipe book, or possibly a cutting board. I don't know. I think it's a book. But either way, there you go. I think it is a book. It's got the binding on the back. There you go. The book. And then a bowl of green crap. I don't know what this is. Some kind of salad. Some kind of weird meat. Mystery meat. I have no idea. But it comes with that. As well as his hat, which I'm going to take off because it's just going to fall off anyways. But this is a little chef's hat. It's got a little tab. This tab was like, I don't know, a millimeter longer. Hat would probably stay on a little better. That's my one thing with these Boss Fight Popeye figures. I wish the hat's just pegged in securely. Like, I don't really care if they have a little hole in their head or not. Probably never going to take the hats off. But as far as Rough House goes, he's got his little mustache. There. He's a bigger guy. Like, I don't know if he's Bluto big, but he's pretty big compared to the rest of them. And as far as his articulation goes, he's got a pretty good range in the head. Pretty expressive. Looks good. Shoulders will go out. Back down, forward and back. He's got a single jointed elbow with rotation. He's got swiveling hands, and this one's pretty smooth, all things considered. I put some soap in here though, because these were pretty gummy. I don't know why. I've never had that problem with these figures before, but his hands for some reason were very gummy. This one in particular, it still kind of is, but it works a lot better than it did. So there is that. He's got a ball joint in the waist. It's a little hindered, but nothing crazy. Hips are on the standard, like, Boss Fight ball sockets, but they're pretty hindered on this guy. But they aren't loose. There you go. I'm able to move that one a little more now. He does have a thigh cut. He's got a single knee. Swivel at the knee. I will say the back of this leg had like some glue residue on it, but I was just able to scrape that off with my nail. So I guess that's fine. Should I have to do that? No. But was I able to do it? Yes, and I'm still happy with the figure. His feet will also rotate. They don't really, like, castor oil's had some tilt to them. His really don't. Like, his will tilt, but they won't tilt a ton. I mean, there you go. He's got a little bit, but nothing to write home about. But that is Rough House in a nutshell. I'm more than likely going to display mine, obviously, with his little chef's hat, despite the fact it does pop off. Guess I could always have the old man glue that in there, but I don't know. It's probably just going to get knocked off anyways. But yeah, I really like this boss fight Popeye line. You know, Popeye to me is one of the greatest cartoons of all time. As far as like old stuff goes, it's up there with like Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, classic Mickey Mouse stuff, classic MGM like Droopy Dog and stuff like that. Because let's be honest, you wouldn't have all the cool stuff like Gargoyles and Ben 10 and Batman Beyond without Popeye, right? At least I like to think so. Heck, I'm sure you wouldn't have Adventure Time, sorta, somewhat, if Popeye wasn't a thing. And, you know, people are going to sit here and suck that show off 10 years after it went off the air. Then I guess it's okay to like Popeye, which still airs on Boomerang to this day, as well as multiple channels, and it's on Tubi. You don't got to hunt it down, in other words. Whereas all the other Cartoon Network stuff, you got to hunt down, and it's kind of annoying. That said, I guess my main takeaway is I'm kind of sick and tired of Adventure Time being like S tier on every cartoon tier list. Like, wasn't that great? Come on. So, moving right along, why don't we take a look-see at how Roughhouse stacks up against our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith, and the infamous Elephant Spawn, who of course is going to tower him. I mean, look at that. He may be bigger than Castor Oil, but he's no match for Al Simmons there. So, with that being said, it is time now that we move right along and wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and much like the Castor Oil figure I took a look at earlier today, check that review out if you haven't already. Really appreciate it if you did. Good old Roughhouse here is once again another fine addition to the Popeye Classics line, brought to us by the fine folks over at Boss Fight Studios. And if you're like me, you already have Wimpy Wellington, then this is a definite no-brainer, because what is Wimpy without the guy he's constantly trying to screw over in terms of getting hamburgers a week in advance? I mean, really. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, catch you guys later.